I'm hosting the post-fight show now, by the way.
All right, he
Dan,
does it
you
all.
can go
Hall
home.
of Famer.
We're joined
For
by
God's
MVP.
MVP, by the way, with a monster win in the
Yeah.
co-main event. But before we get to that, I want to get your reaction on your friend Israel Adesanya losing.
I'm obviously just disappointed. I was upset. It's hard to celebrate now. You know what I mean? I overachieved. I achieved something, and then I was looking for my brother to do the same thing. So it's very difficult. So I thought he looked good in the first round.
Yeah.
Especially his wrestling. He actually did say he's going to wrestle, and he had a nice counter. He defended a couple of takedowns really well. And then his chin was just a bit too high on that last, as he was drifting back. But obviously, congratulations to Imavov.
Yeah, nice performance by Nasruddin Imavov. Obviously, a tremendous performance by you. It was your classic karate style coming in there. You seem to have Shara Magomedov baffled nearly the whole time, and you basically said your O has to go, and I'm the captain now. I mean, your game plan seemed to work to perfection from the jump.
Yeah, it did. I'm always difficult and hard on myself. My output, I should have been a lot more, and I reckon I could have damaged a little bit. Even right at the end there, the triangle would have been on 100%.
Yeah.
It was
deep. Close.
It was deep.
Not enough time.
It's just not enough time. But again, if I worked a little bit more, I would have probably had those interactions, a lot more of those interactions, so I could have finished.
This was. Go ahead, Alan. Please,
I was gonna
please.
say, Mike, if you take a look at your handiwork right now, one thing that I see you do a lot, and coaches don't always love this, but you're able to get away with it. You get airborne when you do that blitz from the right side when you're in orthodox. You also went for the elbow airborne a couple times tonight. Is that something that just kind of spontaneously happens?
No.
You're so eager to close the distance?
Again, to be fair, a lot of things that it may look spontaneous, but it's very well drilled. A lot of the times, because I know I can cover the ground really well, I catch my balance back on you. So instead of having to be balanced to land the shot, I can explode forward knowing that the second I land on you, I can regain my balance and catch my feet and then continue throwing punches.
That's what I notice a lot of times when you don't land the punch, you're able to land a bit of a sweep because you're catching your balance on them, knocking them over.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to take notes on that. That's beautiful stuff.
So, Michael, you're known for your explosive knockouts. When you came to the UFC, you had a big history of being a knockout artist. I know you put yourself under a lot of pressure to get the finish tonight.
Yes, sir.
You didn't do that. But on the bright side, what a performance. Wowed the crowds. Shara Bullet, undefeated. He was 15-0, a fearsome striker.
Yes, sir.
And you went out there and totally owned the octagon with respect to him. You bullied him at times. So you didn't get the finish, but you got to be happy with the performance.
Yeah, you know, I'm definitely happy with the result.
Yes.
The performance, I always want to be better. I'm still searching for that highlight reel knockout. The reason why, you know, the UFC wanted to sign me in the first place, I know it's there. I do believe, and I'm starting to feel it a bit more now. I'm like, maybe I do need to get a little bit more comfortable with the magnitude of the UFC. I think it does change. At first, I was kind of like, no, there's no way. I'm MVP, you know. I've done these big things before. But I'm definitely a lot more hesitant here than I would have been when I was, you know, fighting elsewhere. So that will slowly change. As the more and more I do this, this is me not at my best. So I'll wait and see when I get there.
Impressive stuff, not at his best.
30%? Who said that?
This is also you moving up a division. And Michael said the word I was thinking the whole time as I was watching the fight with Alan. You were bullying him in there. You were stronger in the clinch, yet you do want to go back down to 170.
Yes, sir, I do. I definitely, again, I've just got goals at 170. I think 170 at the moment, although Bilal's got the belt, I think it's still moving at the moment. It's still, to be fair, the middleweight division in a similar place. I don't think it's solidified with any one person. There's a lot of moving parts. A lot of people that maybe normally don't lose are losing at the moment. So I can see my path to the top. So I want to make that happen.
Your strategy is always be on the outside, confuse them, pimp them, hands low, and then go. Surprise them, close distance, stun them. Does the game plan ever change? Like when you looked at Shara Bullet and you studied him, was there anything about him in preparation that you were like, okay, we got to do this a little different?
Not really. This is the reason why I called him out. I just could see my style fit his style. As much as he's an exceptional striker, I'm looking at him. I'm like, no, I've seen that before. I knew he'd be a bit more tentative with me bouncing in front of him. So I just have to go out there and be me. Obviously, when there's other elements in terms of not kickboxing, not striking, then yes, I have to adjust how I do things slightly. But if you're going to be a striker in front of me, I'm going to be me.
Can I dissect that a little bit? When you saw him, you said, you know what, his style fits me. Was it because he's predominantly a kicker and he doesn't let his hands go, so that gives you the opportunity to dominate that space with the hands?
Yeah, definitely. He likes to kick, and I've seen all the best kicks in the world. Like I'm never fazed with any kick. He actually almost caught me with one at the beginning. I was like, it's sharp, but again, I just knew it wouldn't be heavy, it wouldn't be weighty. His low kick was really good. I think that was the most effective thing that he had. And I could see that was a game plan of his. After the first round, I worked it out and then just readjusted my distance in, and then that was it.
Now, I mentioned this to Michael the other day, right? I used to be a pretty good-looking guy back in the day before I was covered in scars and started losing eyeballs and stuff. You haven't got a mark on you. You just went against one of the most devastating strikers, literally haven't got a scratch on you, look like you just got out of bed, look like you just had your makeup done. I hate you.
So that wasn't a question, though, was it?
It wasn't a question, it was a statement.
Bit of venting right here.
What's your secret?
What's your secret?
Don't get touched. You know?
Mate, listen, another tremendous performance. It really was. Next week, though, Sean Strickland's fighting for the middleweight belt.
Yes, sir.
If he wins, do you not think you match up well with him?
He's another person, again, as a striker. I know he likes to strike. He can wrestle really well, though, but I know he likes to strike. He's another person I'd happily fight.
Yeah.
He's a guy that would let his hands go. But you did mention, sorry about that, Dan, that you want to go back down to the welterweight division. My apologies if you mentioned something already instead of the octagon, but do you have certain names or matchups that you like at 170?
The only one in terms of name, I don't have anybody particular. It's just climbing the ladder, so whoever's in my way. But the only name that I think is just going to be great for the UK, though, that's the only time I'll take that fight, is Leon Edwards.
So let me ask you this, though, and please don't be offended when I say this. A lot of people would say, because last time out against Ian Gary, he was able to control you on the ground and get the decision. Close fight, though, but that's what he did. You got Bilal Muhammad, who's a crazy powerhouse of a wrestler. You got Shavkat Rakhmonov, that if he was to fight you, would definitely go for the wrestling. So it's very wrestling heavy. There's Kamaru Usman, again, similar thing. That's why
Leon Edwards, too.
Yeah,
Leon Edwards, too, who he said he would like.
I don't think Leon's going to try and take you down, though, and if he did...
Oh, he's going to take him down. I don't know if he's going to. He's going to try to take him down.
I'm glad I didn't finish that sentence. Shout out, Leon. I'm just scratching my head. Why not 185? It's easier. You can be happier. You can be fatter. You can have a beer.
You could eat more.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, maybe it's something that I need to consider sitting down with my team. I think at the moment I'm just fixated, and regardless of everything you say, I can still see a path to success and victory.
All right, we're just going to play this. We're going to play this game for a minute. I want to pop up the rankings here at middleweight. If you did decide to take another fight at middleweight here, because we know what's going on at welterweight here. Here's 6 through 15.
Wow.
Okay, you just beat 14.
Michelle,
you see somebody above him. Is there anybody that just kind of pops out to you a little bit?
Paulo Costa's a great fight.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say Marvin, because me and him were teammates for a very long time. So you know.
Yeah.
But there's some great fights here. There's literally.
Jared Cannon.
Jared is another one. Jared's another one. You obviously seen him. He's a heavy hitter, likes to stand and bang. There are Michel Pereira. I know we were talking above 14, but he's a exceptional, crazy style in the cage. There's a ton of great fights there to be had.
Well, there's so many places that you can go here, and you certainly are going to have some time to think about it. But obviously, you've stated that you want to move down to welterweight. I can't wait to see who you fight next. So
you never got the finish, but I think it's fair to say that you're living up to your hype and your ability. You put on a show here tonight. People loved you. I mean, Shara's kind of got like a hometown-ish advantage. Yes, At one point, they were chanting MVP because they love the showmanship. They love the respect that you show, and of course, what you show inside the octagon. So you got to be happy, man. You got to be happy with how the whole UFC experiment's playing out.
100%. Obviously, again, I've had a lot of doubters my whole career, to be fair, but especially crossing into the UFC, I've had a lot of doubt. I think I've gained my respect, especially again after a performance like that. I'm just hard on myself because I know as much as everybody else's expectations down here, my expectation of myself is way up there.
And rightly so.
Got a long way to go. The ageless wonder. He could be fighting for another 3, 4, 5 years. Michael Venom Page. Let's see that MVP ring before we let
look
you go.
at that.
It's getting a lot
Look at that.
Got a lot of looks this weekend.
Do me a favor. How much would it cost for you to jab Dan Helen?
Why would you say that?
With that on.
You just saw what he did in the octagon.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
Right in his forehead.
I know. Do me a favor. How much would you sell it to me for?
No.
That's what I thought.
Punch out comrade, yeah.
MVP'd.
You're evil. I'm the nicest guy on the set outside of MVP.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's nice to have one Brit who is the gentleman on the set.
Yeah.
Thank God for MVP.
Well, someone's got to have a personality up here.
Michael, thank you so much. We really appreciate the time on the pre-show and the post-fight show.
Such a pleasure, brother.
Thank you, my friend. And thanks for being a true gentleman from England.
Always.
Yeah.